Hello, welcome to Art Obsession Studio, where I am obsessed by art and I hope that you are too. What you're looking at here is this giant great cedar tree on a walk down to China Beach. This is something I took a picture of, brought it home, and this is a painting that I created. And we're going to break that down in this video on how you can do it. Now this painting, it went on to a show. And at that show, that painting did sell, and it was very successful there. So here's a breakdown. First, we get the big canvas, and I get some red vermilion out, or some cadmium red, and I sketch in where I want the tree to go. Now notice I've paid particular attention to where the trunk comes up into the picture and where it ends at the top. There's a little vanishing point there, and I've roughed in where the foliage is going to go from the other trees around it. And then you'll see me adding in the sky, and I'm being kind of careful to kind of plan out where all those other trees are going to have all their foliage, all their green needles and everything, and where the clouds are. The clouds are already present in the sky, the parts that would peek out past that foliage. This is the same tree now at a slightly different angle, me working on the palette, or the canvas I should say, and you can see some of the branches and the other trees, and some of the characters are already sketched into the face of that tree. Now on this panel you can see that I'm washing in the tones of that tree. It's an old cedar tree. Much of the bark is removed from age or weather or whatever, but there's a lot still on there, and there's some rot on there as well. And this wash in that you see will help to represent that a little later on. Here we go with the foliage now. Apologize for the sunlight coming through the blinds, but there's the dark foliage coming in on the other trees, and some background foliage that you can see just down to the right hand side of the trunk there. That'll be the backdrop for more foreground foliage that I'll paint in later. Now notice I've been very dark with my foliage to get started, and that's okay because I want to be able to add my lights later, which are my highlights, and I want all that stuff in the distance to be very dark because it's very shadowy. The sunlight's not getting to it. I've roughed in my trees now. I've got some detail showing up to guide my next steps. There you can very clearly see now that there's a part that's rotten, part of the center. You can see where it's split open. There's an eye there. There's some shadows that are developing on some of the other trees. Notice a dark gray to the light, bright sunlight that's poking through the foliage. And now I've got some foreground. And there we have the foreground coming to life. Some small salal bushes and a small minor little fir tree that's popping up, probably growing out of the trunk of this one, I can't remember. And now the highlights. And so there you have it. Now we're going to just recap. This is the finished product, and you can see all the last detail is put in. Any wispy little branches that are close by are put in. The leaves are represented there. Also, all the highlights are in place. The shadows on the main tree are put in place, and we've given some character to the bark. So there you have it. That's basically the breakdown on how I created this painting, which is called Great Cedar. It was an original. And please like and subscribe to this channel. And I appreciate it. And see you on the next one. I hope that you'll try something like this.